I don't need that.
Are you sure? Okay. Oh, I don't know, I'm already here.
Okay. You seem to be operating under the assumption right now that the Conservancy can control what happens within the perimeter of the park. To my knowledge, there was nothing in the agreement that gave you the right to build the park that allows you to control the programming. Am I wrong in that? Can the FDR Conservancy control the programming and the uses of the park instead of RIAC?
Well, we're hoping always that it'll be extremely collaborative. If you remember, the RIAC didn't want to have any responsibility whatsoever, financial or otherwise, for the park. So we assumed that at the time. Programming should be wide open in public. We're not going to invent all the programming. We want to know what you guys would like to do there. We expect you to do things in the park. In terms of controlling it, we do have responsibility for the rules under New York State parks. We're open to suggestions, comment, anything else. But
Well, some of the complaints that I have received was that people are being prohibited from walking into the park with a beverage other than water. I've received other complaints from parents who have been told they've been scolded by your employees when their children were running around on the lawn. And just the general feeling that when they go into the park that they are being told they can't do certain things. When you first got your approval from the RIAC board to build the park, some of the issues were, can people go into the park and have a picnic? Can people go into the park and fly a kite or throw a ball around? And at that time, the response was, oh yes, it's a park, you can do all of those things. Now we're finding out, once you've got it built, you're imposing all of these rules which were not part of the original agreement with the RIAC to give you the right to build the memorial. So I'm just wondering if you can comment upon that.
well, there's no question that our appreciation for what it is we were building, changed and developed as we built it. It never was a ballpark and sandbox place. I mean, it's a very formal setting, and very precious materials are used there that are vulnerable. So we are allowed to make those rules for that site. I mean, it isn't a sacred place as a memorial, and South Point Park is right there. So we're hoping that the combination of these two spaces, the formal one and then the totally relaxed one, informal one, will provide residents with all the experiences that they look for. And as John mentioned, we are working to try to find out how we can protect the granite from what would happen if red wine or coffee or sodas were spilled on it. But until we solve that, it's very vulnerable, and we would like to protect it.
Well, it just appears that what you've done is a bait and switch, that you've made certain promises in order to get approval for the park, and once you've gotten it built, you've changed the rules upon which the approval was initially based upon.
Well, bait and switch is a little harsh, Rick. We were building it just the way Con designed it. That's the only mandate we had. And I don't believe the agreement really governed the kinds of things you're talking about now. I mean, we want it to be a destination that gives people great satisfaction and a beautiful experience. So we'll do our best to do that. At the same time, we need to protect it. And about the help, we work very hard with the staff to make sure that they are pleasant always, responsive always. I don't think anybody's ever said a child couldn't run on the lawn. What we have to keep telling them to do, telling the parents, is please don't let them run up the revetments, which everybody seems to want to do. It's very dangerous. I mean, we're responsible for the safety. We're liable for the safety of everybody that comes to the park. So our rangers are instructed to keep people of all ages from climbing up those revetments, sliding down the banisters, climbing the trees, hanging out over the walls. I mean, this is just basic safety that we're trying to provide in this space.
Just one final. Do you believe that you have the ultimate veto over what particular use goes on at the park? And that if RIAC wants to do something, suppose a third party wants to have an amplified concert down at the park. Your rules currently say there's no amplified music. Do you have the ultimate veto authority and say that that can't happen?
I think state parks and we do have the right to set the policy And as I said, there are about 3 different levels. There's programs that you all might want to do there, that we'd love to have you do there. And, you know, I mean, it's collaboration, no question. The commercial aspects we will control because they really are a different kind of thing. I think it's a shared responsibility. Our mission is very straightforward. We need to protect the visitors, create a fabulous visitor experience for them, and protect the park. And everything that we've done has gone to try to meet those objectives.
Thank you.
All right, who's next?